Okay, let's do this. My first challenge. This is still the closed beta, coming up on the end of it. This is my character I'm thinking of taking into the open beta. It is a Dark Elf Agnostic Warrior as my primary, with Cleric and Monk as my second and third classes. I'm currently level 17, and I have started a private instance of Befallen, difficulty 0, and I have set it to be a no respawn. So the challenge I'm setting today is to do a complete clear of the dungeon, every single mob, kill them all, and you know, be able to claim my first full clear of a dungeon. A lot of first level is going to be gray. Um, it is, I think, 28 is the highest level mob potential in the dungeon, so I'm level 17. By time we get all the way to the bottom, I'm going to be fighting potentially, um, creatures 8 levels above me before we finish this. So that's the challenge part, is to see whether or not I can pick up 3 or 4 levels on the way down and have a chance at clearing the last few mobs. So I'm going to do a bum rush until I start getting these to be blues, and then I'll slow down and lull my way and really think about my pulls to get all the way to the bottom. That said, let's go. This is pretty simple. Um, kind of saving my mana. I'm currently running recovery. I'll go into the divine for my invocations, and I'm running offensive for my stance. That's 25% chance hit increase and double damage. I could be running striker, which is 3 times damage, and but what that ends up doing is blowing down my endurance bar, and I'd rather have that for when I go into evasive stance, 95% of evading all incoming attacks in exchange for that bar. It gives me about 30 seconds if I've pulled too much to try to recover and get control of the fight. And that's a nice window to keep kind of my emergency button. And if that fails, obviously I've got Feign Death. So going a little slower than I need to, mainly because I don't have a great way of doing mana recovery. Now Divine, as an invocation stance, is I don't get the mana regen of recovery, but I get additional healing based off of the mana spent for the spell. So when I throw a healing, I'll heal the full amount of the spell, plus I'll get additional healing. For example, Echo and Light is 85 mana, so I'll get a bonus heal based off that 85 mana. Same thing with the bonus heal of 65 mana for casting healing. But I also get healing for when I'm throwing the 100-point nuke for Undead. It's 36 mana heal and 43 mana for smite. Okay, that's enough of me talking. Let's play. And doing full clear means going into rooms most people don't go into. They're all the nooks and corners. You're probably wondering why I'm not healing, is because when I toss smite at this level, it's more just a waste of mana. As you see, I'm getting some AoE from the warrior cleave, and then I get a roundhouse kick going. So that initial hit, if everything's reset, is pretty good. sure I've cleared everything. Level 1 has a floors. You know, if you're leveling, this is a place to come from 5. There may be 11. You'll start graying this floor out by level 11, but the 2 bosses are still worth fighting. It's clear. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Annoying rats. And we should have the front of the dungeon cleared in a second. More just clearing the grays. I'm still getting some gear upgrades out of this. Like I'm at +4 on my cloth. And it looks like I got a glove increase. Gloves really haven't been dropping, so I've only got that to +1. There's a lot I could do. I haven't picked up a ranged weapon yet. I really, like I said, I'm trying to conserve mana. There's a couple fights. There's usually a level 12 and a level 16 on this floor. Level 16 is the only, well, both the bosses have some gear that's worth collecting. The level 12 occasionally will drop the pristine studded leather. So that's definitely worth getting. And then the other boss has these Morning Star and a Scythe. I don't like the Scythe because it's got negative stats. When you start really merging it up, the negative stats get even more negative. There's first boss. I don't know why occasionally it turns off my auto attack. Sitting here waiting for me to hit and nothing's happening. Okay, first boss drops a rod that I don't care for. There's better rusty equipment up there. You know, I'll blow cast an actual spell. But it drops the boots. Yeah, here's the skeletal rod. It's 427. Like I said, it's 0.148 ratio. There's rusty equipment that's better, so I don't deal with this. But occasionally the boots drop, and like I've worked this up to +4 by killing this mob over and over again. And hopefully by the time I'm done with this dungeon, I'll get this to +5. Maybe see a 10 agility boot. That'd be kind of nice. If you've never been here before, obviously that door's locked. I'll show you where to get the key just in case nobody's been here before. I doubt anybody's going to ever watch this video that hasn't done Befallen, but just in case, we'll cover everything. I've been doing this at difficulty 4, so it makes interesting fights because everything's dual class. Nothing like a gray enchanter trying to mez you. That's how I've worked up most of my gear. It's running this at difficulty 4. Okay, next boss. I want to pull these slow. I guess I could measure, but you know, it's kind of overkill. Now we'll throw a lull. Okay, this is the boss. Occasionally she drops the Morning Star or she'll drop the scythe. I don't think the scythe's worth it, but Morningstar is like awesome gear. And I have two of them. Instead of merging them into a single weapon, I've built up two, merging up to +5 each. Okay. Once she gets going, she's fun. Throw a stun on her occasionally. That's the fight. Yeah, drop the scythe. I auto sell it. So it's a nice damage weapon, especially if you crank this up. Um, but -10 charisma, which gets even worse once you've done some merging, and then negative on resist. So for me, this is an auto sell. Okay, you can jump down the well to get to level 3 if you want. I wouldn't, unless you're like over leveled for the dungeon. Otherwise, I come in here occasionally because these are casters. Isn't one of the potential spawns. Casters drop cloth gear. But kind of an out of the way room. Early levels, you want to kind of pull it and clear it so you don't get ads joining a bad fight. But here's the Shadow Knight, and there should be one more. Yeah, so we'll take out the neophyte first. But there's the Shadow Knight. Only thing you have to worry about is that harm touch, which is, you know, is what it is. Drops this chip bone rod, like old school. That locate quartz would be nice. We don't have to deal with it. So it's kind of pointless anymore. I would love to see them swap this for something different, personally. But, you know, it is what it is. So I sell that. So that's where you get your first key. I've got all 3 right now. There's all 3. There you go. Been running the dungeon all day. But yeah, that's where you get your first key. That'll get you through the first door. We'll check this room, make sure I got everything. I don't want to not get a full clear. As you see, nothing's respawning. All nice and clear. Okay, first door. What the keys for? Okay, this room and the next, and we'll have the first floor done, and then easy mode will be over, and I might actually get some colored creatures to kill. But really, until I get to the 3rd floor, there's not going to be anything really worth worrying about. Okay. Yay, we got some colored mobs coming up. So I'll start paying attention to what I'm doing. Don't need the map up. Kind of forget it, sorry. I used to run the map open all the time because I was playing a ranger. It's nice to see all the mobs running around. There we go. First non-boss XP of the dungeon run. Switch to recover. I've been collecting the bronze and merging it up. So you'll see me grab gear that makes no sense. If you play the game, you have loadouts here, so I've only have this one. But were I to create another loadout, one of your options is to share or to have each loadout have its own gear. And that's what when I do this and have multiple loadouts, I like to not worry about the gear. So each of my aliases end up being aliases have their own gear set, which means were I to create this, this would be empty when I swap. So long way of saying I collect gear that this loadout's not going to use, and like where to do a beast lord or some kind of build where I couldn't use these weapons, I now have a set of weapons for them. Kind of stuff. I haven't done a pet class, so your pet inventory. But yeah, that's why you see me like I'm merging up gear that doesn't make sense. Is there for other loadouts once I get further into this build. Now, I could go in here and I could lull, and there's 2 more, potentially 6 if I pull this room over here, but they should all be blue or gray, so let's go ahead and just pull everything. Yeah, got a green and a blue caster coming, which, you know, I'm not too worried about. They'll burn, casters burn down pretty quick. And again, I'm running pure offense here. I'm not too worried. There's Mend, what Mend looks like. As a cleric, I haven't even tested the healing spell. But yeah, that close to 2 things. So normally you'd go this way to go immediately down to the 3rd floor, but I need to clear all the spawns. So here, I'll show you where all the keys are and some gear that drops that's worth getting, I guess. See if I get the Shadow Knight connected. There you go. Way I normally pull this room is I will, typically it's a skeleton, but I'll pull them around this corner so they have to clear the room for me. And I get a nice stack when I'm doing AoEs, is really why I do that. But as you see, the moment I start getting some greens, I switch my approach. Just throwing a lot more smites and undeads. I'm collecting the there's another better shield that drops somewhere else, so yeah, I'll slow that off. I'm collecting all the backpacks and put them in the bank. Yeah, this room's clear. A couple mobs in this room only. So you got this side and then that side. Occasionally you can higher difficulty because the aggro radius is so much, you can sometimes pull multiple rooms. Okay. Now, normally when I do this room, I will go ahead and lull this camp. I'll go ahead and do it this time, even though I can probably just bonsai this room. is I come in here and I kind of sit in the doorway. I'm not being clipped and I can cast spells, but they may not think I'm in the room. I don't know. But even when they're higher level, I can usually be able to calm the whole room. This mob will pull the hallway when you kill it. Now, when you doing higher difficulty levels, the aggro radius gets a lot larger. So in a dungeon like this, there's a good chance where to pull this one, it would pull that room as well. So I would go in and I would normally at a higher difficulty level, I'll calm that room as well. But I should be safe. Oh, no, actually I pulled the room. See? Yeah, aggro radiuses are pretty big. Just expect it. If you don't think you can handle the room, considering there's a level 16 in there, yeah, just calm both rooms before you start pulling. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish this because I don't want any ghosts. Normally that one of the tougher bosses on this floor is the next room over. I'd rather kind of clear this hallway first. Anything that may come. I've literally had at like difficulty 3 this quarter come when I was doing that room. Kind of chain pull each other. Okay, this is typically one of the harder ones. Just the amount of spells it throws out if you're lower level. So I always try to do this calmed. Just burn her down as fast as possible. Drop some good gear though, so it's always worth for you to just kind of bounce between bosses. You definitely want this one on your list. So let me go through my bags. So you'll get the robes from her, which I'm working up. And again, I can't wear this stuff, but I'm working it up for other builds. And as you see, drop this dagger as well, which is nice int gear for Nekra. So yeah, I just merged that up. This chip bone rod, again, I wish they would just change that item out to be something that's useful in Legends, because nobody's going to locate corpse. I mean, you don't drop corpses anymore. Why am I not casting a spell? Forgot it's unopened. Yeah, occasionally you get weird stuff like this happening. Usually you got like a dialog box open somewhere or something like that. That works. It's just these don't seem to be working. Works if I manually click the button, but if I don't use my numbered keys, there it goes. That unlocked it all. Okay. Get 2 keys dropped in here. So the first key is this door. Don't go in the room. There's a pit right here. That's actually a pit down to the 3rd floor. Where's your Shadow Knight? Standard pull. Cast a spell. Come along in the hallway. Make them run out to you. And that's where you get the 2nd key. Now you know you need that key real quick because that key opens this door. And this room leads to the Shadow Knight with the 3rd key. Yeah, I know almost everybody watching this knows Befallen, but for the one odd person, I might as well cover it while I'm here, since I have to kill everything anyway. Oh, Off Joker went to +2. Got a lot of auto merging going on, so unless I look at my chat, I don't see what my items look like. Okay, this is the room. I end up trying to get the Shadow Knight from here. Typically when I pull that one, it'll pull the Shadow Knight as well. There you go. Shadow Knight out, really quick stun. Ogres don't expect magic stun. It's always fun to look at the peek of your face when an ogre gets stunned. And I'm like, I can't, I'm immune. Now that's how I normally do it, but like I'm doing a full clear, so I want to make sure, yeah, see, I want to make sure I get all the mobs. But like, normally you don't need to do it to get the key. Again, stuff everybody knows, but we'll cover it anyway, is the smoke glass key, the 3rd one that drops, is it doesn't persist. So the moment I log out, this key will disappear. So every time you rerun this dungeon, you have to kill this Shadow Knight to get that key to continue on down. That's why most people jump down the well, honestly, is they will not want to have to come all the way over here to pick up a key for the dungeon that they've run over and over again. Let me check these 2 rooms again. This is the pit room, so you got to be very, very careful if you want to actually come in it. But I'm just checking it, make sure I don't have anything. Checking all my corners since I'm done with this floor. This was the last kill for this floor. Might be doing a full clear if I left a little gray somewhere. Okay, I think we're good. That's all clear. I almost never come in this room. Let's put it. Go. See what comes at me. Yeah, pathing here is always a joy. They don't path like the way you think they would. Okay, this should be the last room on the 2nd floor. Down to one last mob technically on this floor, which is right in here. This room here is the stairs going down. And so that is my last creature on the 2nd floor. And I'm 2/3 of the way through the dungeon. Not bad. Okay, now we're getting serious. Things are going to be all about my level. Typically, everything in this level, once you break into it, is going to be 20 and higher. There are some mobs that may spawn a little lower, but like probably nothing lower than 18. There's 20, 20, and 20. So now I'm taking this serious. And of course, I get a resist. Gotta love it. Let's deal with this guy first. I might actually have to use my endurance bar. Okay, yeah, time to use endurance. First time I had to do this in the dungeon. But you see now my endurance bar is slowly going down. Once you get this fight under control. 3, yeah. I'll deal with it after the fight. Okay, now go back to offensive. I think we're good. I think I can control these two as it is. I've been running recovery because I haven't been stopping between fights. And I want to get some regen. I may start switching to divine and pausing between fights. Switching to define. Now, I'll get healing from when I throw these nukes down. A little bit of healing. But my mana bar is going to really start going down. But, like I said, I don't have respawns. I've got plenty of time. Let's go ahead and look at those gloves. So, as a monk, I'm really paying attention to weight before I put some stuff on. So it's only 0.2, which is actually lower weight than those. Yeah, this is a no-brainer to switch this out. Now, I'm not going to delete my cloth. I may run into where doing a full caster build, I would need cloth. So I'm going to keep my cloth, keep on working them up. That's a nice add-on. First time that's dropped, as you see for me in this dungeon. Okay, let's start doing third floor. Things are going to get fun. I'm going to see my first reds. Basically, this next corridor, I should have a red wandering mummy to deal with. And I'm still 17, so my plans on gaining levels is not panning out. Yeah, careful how I walk so I wouldn't pull that. Sometimes if I try to pull it into the room, because the skeleton walks forward, it'll pull this one. Yay, finally got a cloth shirt. Kind of funny, I got rawhide before I got cloth. But yeah, I don't know if I need cloth. I mean, I've got these two robes. Look at the classes across these two robes. The Necro Wizard, Magician, Enchanter. Monk can wear the, obviously, but like Monk's fine with that. And this is, yeah, so I don't think I need cloth, honestly, for it now that I got those two robes. So I may sell that later. Okay, let's start setting this up. That, oh, only yellow. That's typically a pain in the ass. wandering mob. I want to also make sure I calm the pet. Now, this is as good as I get. There's a 50-50 chance I'm going to pull a creature from that door right there, and then there's a hidden wall I may pull from. So I want to be careful. See what I get pulled. I got lucky. The little wanderer in that room didn't get me. Okay, like I said, when I do those two, I'm going to get something. Like definitely pulling it now will get me. Yeah, there you go. See, there's an ad. Both of these are over my level. Let's burn one down real quick. And then about 50% I switch over to recover. I can handle a single mob beating on me. I'm good. It's only 18, so yeah, I think we're good. Got a platinum ring and a rusty dagger, both dropped, both auto sold. And I need to rebuff, so let's do that after this fight. Hide all the way in the corner. Yeah, I'm only running 2 spell bars currently. And actually, while I'm here, I get another spell. So let's do that as well. Okay, let's see what I add to my bar. Wasn't able to fit everything before. Daring, 2. I don't think I have the blessing on. Yeah, I think that's the one I'm missing. And magic. Yeah, I don't have magic on either. So I actually need another couple spell slots or 2 to have that bar. Okay, let's rebuff. It's kind of nice not having to worry about respawns. Normally when I've been doing this at a higher difficulty with respawns, they can't keep a place clear enough, long enough to rebuff, which is an instant port to the top through death. Gotta wait. This takes so much mana, 350 mana to cast. I actually don't use it all that often, but every bit will help down here. It gives me a proc that heals 2 points. Every bit helps. Okay, now I gotta redo my combat bar. As you see, I had overflow buffs. Don't need daring, don't need blessing. Put my gate at the back. Mainly because it's a pain to work way all the way to the bottom and then work my way back. I go to the bottom and gate to the back to the top. I'm bound right outside of Befallen. Yeah, so that would be, if you look at rituals, I now have both of those unlocked, but I'm a cleric, so I can just cast them without blowing that. Okay, so I've got Smite, Spell, Soothe, 2 heals, a stun. Let's see what else we can try to slip onto the bar now. Oh, I want to get my overflow buffs first. So, did I get spirit armor? Yeah, I got spirit armor. I think I'm still overflowing magic. Yeah, that's what I need. Okay, now let's look at some damage spells. I don't use calm because it only lasts 42 seconds, and you see how I'm doing entire rooms. I need the couple minutes, so I don't use calm. I've not been using the bubble. I think I'm casting that. Yeah, I'm already casting that one. I don't need root. Using smite. I could do an AoE finally. Yeah, let's do an AoE. I haven't had room on the bar yet. Eh, I actually have a spare slot. Cool. Well, let's run with this then. I got more spells coming in one yellow bubble, so I'm not too worried about my combat bar. 18, I pre-bought a lot of my spells. I don't get one at 18. I thought I got one at 18. Never mind. Yeah, we got time. Okay, let's deal with this. Recom. I think I got the pull. Extra pull from around the corner. There's a burning or scorched skeleton I get. Okay, let's do this. Walking up. There's a scorched. Okay, let's do this. Go to evasive. My bar's locked up again. There we go. Burn you down. I really don't like long-term stuns. Okay, I should have control. Back to offensive. Okay, cleared out. That's the wall. I want to watch that door. Everything through that door is the highest level areas section of the entire dungeon. So everything there is like 21 and above. To the right here is where you get some 18s. Let's double check my rooms. I think this is cleared because I pulled the 2 creatures out of it. Yeah. Okay, so this is the room. Remember I said the Shadow Knight has that pit? That's where you get dumped. If you fall through the pit, and as you saw, you ended up with that 20-something mummy, and I think it was an 18 mummy in here as well. There's a mix, but you're immediately dropping into a room with 18 and 20 level creatures, multiple, and you might pull the ones outside. So yeah, it's usually a quick death, especially if you're of level that you're still trying to get the Shadow Knight key. Next thing to know is, there you go. There's a room here. I like to pull this room early because there's a couple mobs that sit right here that you walk in and get face planted by whatever they're holding. So, yeah, that's why I don't too worry. I prefer it to get pulled. Okay, let's start calming. several in here. I think that's it. Sneak by without them aggroing on me. Yeah, cool. Let's pull this. Get this one around the corner first. Yeah, I was worried about pathing. Always, you know, everybody typically bum rushes this, but I like skill practicing clean pulls when I can. I used to be the puller when I used to group a lot. Bard, Enchanter, Cleric were the big three I used to play. First ever character was the Enchanter, Dark Elf Enchanter. My very first character way back in classic, 1999 EQ. You're a real pain to burn down. Okay, broke in. Next set of rooms. I think I can do this hallway first. There's a boss around each corner. Well, not a boss, but a more rare spawn. This is the Shadow Knight. And an Acolyte. Cool. Clear the room. Last little bit of the dungeon's going to take more time than the first two levels. Everything from now on is higher level than me. Like I said, I'm hoping to get level 20 before I start facing the really big ones. And yeah, I got a spawn, so like let's look, see what dropped. I know I don't get spells, but let's check my abilities. I'm not really up on Monk and Warrior add-ons. I think we're good. Funny thing, this is where all the rogue poison showed up, and I got to like level 10 before I realized that rogues. I'm like, when's rogues getting poison? And it was they're just on this tab. Yeah, real new move. Okay, I think we're good. I want to look at where I'm on the AA. Again, I want to unlock some of this stuff. I'm probably going to do persistent casting as my next AA. So I don't get so many stunned out spells. A whole lot of skill ups. Maybe I should tone that down a little. It's no fun. Okay, ring mail. I actually prefer the barbed. Um, I'm checking the class combos to see if there's one that this could use. You know, I don't think I'm going to collect that. Obviously, I don't need the keys. This is where you get your keys in case you fell through the pit or jump down the well. You come over and kill this Shadow Knight and you'll be able to get back up. Bone Bladed Claymore. That's a nice for if I'm going to run a Shadow Knight. Yeah, let's start working that up. Welcome with a stun. Well, for all the trouble of memorizing resist magic, I forgot to cast the dang thing. I should start taking this dungeon serious. Okay, that's done. Let's calm you just in case. See, I have some PTSD from super long aggro radiuses. I think it should be safe to pull with that one to the left done. Darn will. I actually detest will-o-wisps compared to the other ones. It's, you know, more of a pain in the butt than the other ones. And I have two will-o-wisps. Great. Okay, well, let's grind it down. See the resists? Literally just sit here and whack on it. I guess I could do the, what's it called? Over channel. I almost never use this one. I'm still only up for 13. I'm just gonna take my time and just kick them down. I'm in no rush. I'm getting to the point where rush will kill me. Earlier when I didn't grab that shield, I've been wanting to work up the Parry dagger instead as a shield. Used by more classes, but more importantly, it's the weight for a monk. I'm trying to keep my worn weight down, which is my level. I think you can go to 15 weight now, 14 for the first bunch of levels, and then it's 15 for where I'm currently at. So I figure I'll fill my slot here, and if I ever need a thing, I haven't tested. I don't know if Bash works with the parrying dagger. I don't know, but you know, typically I'm running something because Cleave and Bash are on the same connect, so I don't use Bash. Okay, yeah, so we cleared the two hallways here. This final hallway, which were you to jump down the well, this is where you're going to appear, is here. think there's a, yeah, that one there. Darn it, that's why I was trying to get it. I'm going to say there's one that normally comes. Got too close. And check my corners. And this is clear. Just want to double check. Fire off mend. You can see it's only 37. I don't use it much. Okay. Make sure I can do the whole room. Yeah, I pulled everything. The priest I want to keep down. This just to get control of the fight. Burn down the ghoul necromancer first. My expulse undead does more damage. That's out of the way. I think I got control of the fight. Yeah, I think we switch back to offensive now. Remember, I have an AoE. Didn't overweight myself. Back in one. Caster gear. Survive magic's nice. Okay, we'll work that one out. Got an achievement. Okay, cool. Double check the room's clear. Okay, I think we're down to the hardest area left. Everything's cleared. Respawn's turned off, so this is a full clear. I've cleared everywhere but the last little area of Befallen. And this is where the most rework has been done. New creatures are added from standard Befallen. There we go. Last section. And the hardest. So there are some higher, much higher level. I'll start seeing some reds. Level 23. Level 25. I have to think of a good. We got a pull. Get you out of it there. The rogue. Rogues can backstab from the front, so you may see a good chunk of my health disappear. And then they got poisons as well. There you go. Finally got a runner. It's been forever. When I play higher difficulty levels, almost nothing runs. Let's deal with that. I will do I guess, memorizing route. On my own buffs. 4 minutes. I should be able to clear this first room in 4 minutes. I don't think that counts. That's just in case. That's the one I want to worry about. Make sure I got plenty of time. Is there anything in that hallway? No. I think there's one right around this corner that I might get. Yeah, right there. Okay, let's pull the next rogue. Done, yeah, so I can get a couple snacks before you run. Don't like pathing. Get you away from everybody. What do I want from now on? Nice, clean solo pulls. If I get more than 2 or 3 on me, I'm dead. I might try to go evade and gate out. Or feign death. Nope, they kind of wander off. Okay. Let's clear this thing. Let's see what AA can spend. I'm thinking of doing this persistent casting. Less chance of getting stunned out. There's one other that was interesting. Eventually, I obviously want to do that. My thought process, I'm not touching any of the classes. I want to do all the generals, not all of them, but I want to knock out a good chunk of the generals and archetypes, because as I go up in level, I'm going to be bouncing out of cleric and monk to grind my AAs. So I want to get warrior focused, and then general ones that I can use with other classes is kind of where my head's at. So, like I don't care about food consumption or lung capacity. I'm not dealing with first aid. Though if I want improved mend, I have to buy up first aid to, I think, level 2 or 3. Let's look at that. Yeah, I have to get first aid up to level 3, which I think would be, let me say, 5 or 6 AAs. It's one unlock for the first, and then second level and third is multiple AAs each. And then I can start buying up improved mend. And it's only a 10% chance. So like there's 9 A's. I think it's like 18 total between first aid and this, just to get this to be a 30% or whatever percent chance to get a critical mend, which is an item I'm really not using. So anyway, that's why I'm not doing first aid. I'm going to back out and rebuff before I do these rooms. Everything's red, so let's just deal with it. What I'm dealing with, clear the last of the yellows, and then I'll go off and rebuff. This is actually a pretty easy fight, other than it's a wizard that throws nukes. Gonna run her back. Command. That'll be nice to work up to +2 to pull off that focus effect. Or is it clicky fit? Oh, +4 to get rid of that, to pull that off. Okay, that's a long-term practice. +4 down here. I'll be my mid-20s before I get that. I'll have to take this at difficulty 4, or at least difficulty 2 to clear that. Okay, let's wander off. I'm going to go rebuff. Should be far enough away. Making good, decent progress and experience. I'm going to probably get maybe to level 20. The last few fights are going to be horribly hard. 8, 10 levels above me. Nothing's going to stick from a casting perspective unless I really spend time on overchannel. I may end up just mealing them down and saving all my mana for heals. 350, I think, is what I need. Yeah. Okay. Look at my equipment, see if there's any last minute things I can deal with. Yeah, I forgot to put that on there. Both +5. This is closer. Right belt AC 4 versus an AC 5. Cloth is still better. Neck is AC 4 versus AC 3. It's a 0.8. Let's do that swap. Can't use dagger, so it isn't worth throwing on into an any slot. Can't wear this, so it's not worth doing any slot. I got to figure out what quest that's for. Nothing here is really worth looking at. It's just, yeah, let me go do this one here. I just saw the negative agility. That's as good as I'm going to get. I'm 204 out of 186 for an AC. That ain't bad. Okay, let's look at that AA. What can I do with a point of AA? I might want to look at, since my AC is so high, there's a one of these is worth looking at. Yeah, this would deal with my soft cap issue, I think. But it's 2 points. I want to get what can I get out of a single point, which I think was Fury Magic to get a 2% better chance at a crit, or persistent casting. And again, it's because I'm going to be fighting everything. Every single like bit will help trying to be able to clear it, the dungeon. Okay, I got you to deal with. Somehow I got to see if I can. There's not something on the other side of that door. Cool. I think I can pull you. Okay, first of the rough fights. This is 7 levels above me. I'm probably going to sit and evade, balance, do some actual dancing. We'll see what happens. Gun hit. I get a feel for how well my spells are sticking. That dots got a good chunk out of me. Then end early, so maybe it refreshes before the end of the fight. This ain't too bad. There we be. First of them down. Now I've got you to pull. I don't know what's behind you. You're 25, Ranger. And I was a rogue, sitting within pull range. And another Ranger. Auto check. Yeah, pull the Ranger. Get you away from them, fight you in the nice room. Run away! Oh gosh. He went the other way. That could have been bad. I'm glad I double checked that room. Yeah. Almost every fight now is something I want to solo. There's one yellow in that room. Even then, it was a high yellow. We'll get some fine steel. Okay, so we know we got those 3 right there. Well, 2. Why don't we go this way? Got a door. There might be something right around the corner. Can I use it to cheat? Yeah, there's somebody right there. Out the other way. Yeah, there's one on each side. One's yellow. And the other's red. So I got a Shadow Knight there. And a Rogue there. I don't know how close it's going to let me get. I'm going to leave that. See if we can get another level under me before I do a yellow plus red pull. Okay, let's start breaking into this room. Rogue plus Ranger. Another Ranger. Shadow Knight. Pull you this way. Hopefully the pathing works. I can't get out. There you go. Well, I pulled the other one. Double pull. I was still evasive early. Burned one down. I'm dodging so much and still taking damage. Well, this is what I was talking about. I basically have this endurance bar, kind of get control of stuff. And that is why I don't use striker stance. Because I'd rather have a little bit of room than, you know, kill things faster when it's easy. Evasive to get a heal off. Back over and just kind of grind it down. Then my mend again. Yay. Normally, I wouldn't let them running, but there's nothing out that door for them to go to, so it doesn't matter. Okay, that was what a yellow plus a red looks like. If I had 2 reds, I'd be dead. Coming up on a level. I'm trying to think of like areas to clear that I can get the extra level. Like over here, I've got a yellow and a red. If I can get to 19, I might only have 2 yellows to deal with. That's kind of where I'm thinking about for my pulls. There's rooms on each side. There's a quarter that goes around the back. But this is starting to get harder, higher levels. I want to get my mana up. As you saw, I had a resist. I don't want everything coming at me low mana and get a resist on a con. We'll break this room. Let's see if I get a resist. Okay, let's fight the single red first. Fight it over here in the corner. Hopefully far enough away. Yeah, I'm using my cleric more for nukes. But, for a brand new character, I like this combination. It doesn't require a lot of equipment or AAs to really perform well. So you can use this combo to go and get your initial set of gear. Like I can't wear this right now. It's weight 10 weight, and I only have 3 to spare. So a lot of it is grab your gear, work your weight down before you have a chance to put it on. Okay, so I want to look kind of at the other 2 rooms Before trying to break this combo, I'd like to get 1 or 2 more fights to hit level 19 before I face a red and a yellow again, especially a Shadow Knight. Harm Touch is going to grab about 1/4 of my health. So let's see what's in this room. If I can open the door without pulling. Level 24. Might die. This resists. There's somebody right in the door. And I pulled the room. Crap. Only the one. Not survivable. Okay, it should be safe enough to fight you. Okay. See if I can get a single pull out of that room. Because I don't think with Pathing and Befallen I'm going to get either of these two without pulling both, even with a calm on them. Mana back up a little. Fine Steel Warhammer +1. I have to pay attention to weight. Not that they're better than my current. Okay, back to trying to break this room. Ooh, that's going to be a rough. If there's anybody in there, good. Can I be far enough away to do a pull? Nope. I guess I'm pulling you. Some kind of red caster named. This one I want to root. I'm wandering in either two directions and pulling something. Ooh, that was a fun fight. Level 19. I was kind of met in this corner. Probably going to have to go out and figure out how I'm doing my spells. And what did I get at 19? Anything from a melee side? Nope. Spells. I know I got a spell. Word of Shadow. Better AoE. Let's do that away from here. Don't want to play the sit down and pull the dungeon game. And Celestial Remedy. I think that's a better replacement for 154, 132 to 140 immediately, and then I'd rather have that as a bonus than an AoE. Okay, let's go look at the level of that one caster that was red. Make a decision what we're going to do. 19 might be, let's look at your pet, 16. Maybe you're only in 25. I'm going to pull you if I get much closer. So I might die in the next few seconds. Of course, you put a midget behind here. Yeah, otherwise known as a gnome. I guess it's a gnome. There you go. Level 25 Necromancer. No Necromancer then. Yeah, I think I can take a Necromancer. Let's do this. Easy peasy. Woohoo! A dagger. What else? Icon quest item. I'll put it in the bank. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yellow Ranger. See if you're solo. Nope. And a named. 24 Rogue. 24 Shadow Knight. I'm probably going to get at least 2 of these on the pull. Let's give her a try. See if I can get you without getting the other Ranger. Yay. Go on. Make sure I root you. I wonder if you want enough. He resists in a row. See what this looks like. Good chunk of mana. See heals look. compared to. It might be a bit too early to use you. You're kind of mana hungry. 150, 85, 65. Yeah, you're a bit mana hungry. Okay, let's see if I can start continuing peeling them away one at a time. Still don't know if that's the only ones in the room. I haven't seen it on this corner yet. Cool, it's just you two. And I'll have to buff after this. Ooh, nice rogue weapon with a combat effect of a knight. That is nice. I might actually give up one of these for it. Objectively, the better weapon. I want two of those. I'm gonna grind this space. I want two of these. I'm gonna have these sitting here, those sitting. Yeah, I'm gonna grind that. Only two decks currently, but I bet that gets up to like 5 decks at +4. +4 decks. Let's see. But definitely worth getting. You, I think I better start pulling from this room. Yeah, I think I'm going to spend some time on the 3rd floor doing difficulty 4 once I'm leveled up here. But that'll be amazing at a +5. I have to keep working up my barbed on plates. I'm going to be making a stop off at the 2nd floor. I'm probably going to. I was at 5 piercing. 21 piercing. In fact, I'm just going to heal only and just kind of grind up my piercing. Oop. I was not paying attention. That could have been bad. Yeah, time to run back out and rebuff. Should be safe enough for him. I'm happy about that drop. double up on that too. Get the weight down first, then think about it. Yeah. Heavy weight. Already at 13. Forget when the next weight increase is for months. What up? Let's see where I'm at. Looking at the 1-pointers, burning through them quick. So that might be my next one, Fury and Magic. And then I'll be doing 2-pointers, which means I'm probably going to jump back down to here, get another spell gem. Yeah, that's my next 3 spent. Just got to earn them. Okay, let's see what's down this hallway. Again, I'm trying to figure out where I can have some solo pulls. Those doubles the other direction. Level 26. Ouch. Only a warrior, though. And the Baron, level 20. I'm done. I know I ain't going to do that room. Yeah. Okay. This hallway's dead. I might have to start doing some of the double pulls. Got that other door I could check in this room. 25, 6-point level. Doable. I haven't checked this other hallway yet. Gotta resist. That's right. Probably gonna have to go evasive in a sec. And then that was dumb of me. Ranger's sitting there healing away. Burn it down before she can heal him up. Okay, that's that dealt with. Now I got you. Sit here and regen some mana. And then, okay, let's get everything down every once in a while. Probably gonna have to deal with her healing through a mana bar. Still want to get our currents worked up. Ring mail, 7 weight. Yeah. Go into the merge pile. That's nice, at least. I got all this gear in here not affecting weight. Okay, well, open that doorway. I'm glad I waited a level. Okay, it looks like there's, what, 2 rogues? Yeah, 2 rogues. I have no idea what's on the other side. 2 rogues and a ranger in a room. Don't think I'm going to be able to get a lock on. Now I got the whole room. Nope, just the 2. I can live with that. Finally getting my men to going up. This entire level is all about which fights to pick first. Well, I'm noticing I'm not seeing the rogues put poison. Uh, okay, just got that ranger, yellow ranger. I didn't even check level. Level 24 ranger. I thought you were still mezzed or calm. Finally broke 100 on my piercing, 113 and counting. Right. Another door. What do you got there? 25 Shadow Knight. Somebody. I think in that spot. Yeah, I know I'm choosing the walls. Sue me. Gain a ranger. This looks like what I got in that room. 25, probably 25 ranger too. Let's see if I can find any more yellows first. Fan locked. Some more spaces. Oh, it circles around to this room. Oh, there's a 25, a 26, and a 28 in that room. I think I'm going all the way back out here. See if I can find anything to kill. Yeah, I had this double over here to deal with. See if I can like get one of them. Yay! That is nice. There you are. Nine levels above me. In a room with three things that are all levels above me. That's going to be the roughest pulls. I might die a few times, and just whole goal of each pull is to kill one of them. There you go, level 25. Okay. I got an AA point coming up. But I don't think, like I said, I don't think I have anything to spend it on. Okay. Nothing that way. Might be something around this corner. Probably one more around this corner. A couple things around the corner. Level 25. And another level 25. So I only pulled the one. Good. 2 single pulls, reds. Won't get me to level 20, but we're getting there. Down to one very difficult room. Four more. There's my AA point. What were we talking about spending it on? Yeah, it was the Fury of Magic. That's right. Was all my single pointers spent. Number 4. And now it's time to start dying. If I don't calm the room without a resist, I'll die. Okay, that's it. One room remaining. Got 2 ways into it, so I might be able to leverage that for calming. I can toss a couple cons. I'm going to over channel for the resist. It's going to spend a lot of mana casting calm, but if I resist, the whole room comes. So I'm going to take this room nice and slow. There's a 25 I want to pull, then the 26 I want to pull without pulling the 28. You can do this with 3 solo pulls. I have a slim chance of finishing this without dying. Okay, level 28. Are you going to resist? No. Level 26. Are you going to resist? No. And can I break into the room? Is it just those 2? Oh. Let's see if I can pull you then. Come on. Don't pull the 28. Yay! My chances of surviving just got much better. I'm going to try Divine on this. Take my time nice and slow. A little bit of healing as I throw these nukes. Go to 50% on mana, then go back to recovery. End early. We'll go down to recover. Good on health. There we be. Another set of pristine. It's 2 weight versus 3 weight. AC 10, Dex 5, AC 8, Strength plus Stamina 5. I don't know. We got some. I mean, this is at plus 3. Pristine's going to be better once I get it leveled up. Okay, this is the final pull. If I do this, I've cleared Befallen. I think there's. We'll find out if the achievement pops. So we have my first full clear of Befallen. Do this so you can't harm touch me or whatever paladin-y. Get around the corner to fight you. You could come to me. And of course you stun me. One of those kind of fights. Let's see if unyielding will help with stun. Do this one nice and slow. Everything maximum into mana. He's got the entire bar that he can use for healing. I would prefer he spend his bar trying to nuke me. There you go. There was way on hand spent. Yeah, you like to break. Let's do this. Give this a shot. Get this gun off. Always suck. He's throwing a big heal. It's gonna be a real grind fight. Let's recover my endurance. He's 9 levels over me. Minute and a half cooldown on mend again. Finally getting his mana bar down. Real painful fight. Evasive. There we go. Finally. Now I can start making some progress on you. Yay! Absolutely. If I can afford it. Yes, I can afford it. Look, did I clear the dungeon? Let's walk around. I didn't get an achievement. I think this is it. I think I cleared it. Let's walk around. If you don't have a gray hidden somewhere. Way out that way. That's that door. This room. Nope, that's right. Forgot about these two. Okay. These are only level 25s, which relatively is easier. Rebuff. It's my last room. So I forgot about it. I was like, I didn't see an achievement going off. I did the hard room first. That was a rough fight. That was a real grind. Paladin. Level 28 Paladin at 19. Like, I ain't doing jack until that mana bar is empty of his. Glad I did the first attempt at this section of the room as a challenge fight of, you know, clear versus just grinding this out with respawns. It's fun. Now I can come down here and grind up some equipment. Not bad. I went from 17 to 19. Ain't too bad, I guess. I'll hit 20 maybe. Nah, I don't think I will. Only two more. I don't think I'm going to get all those blues. Okay, final two pulls. That corners, just in case. Yeah. Okay. Yes, you're lower level, but you don't look like a direct pull. I think you'd grab somebody on the way. Maybe. Well, left myself in evasive. That was a waste. It'd be good. Celestial Remedy is probably something you want multiple caster classes to have the mana to do. Rawhide shoulder pads. I'm running cloth. The weight, though, I'm really, really close. Better not take the chance. Okay. Let's get you, man. Pull the knight first. Come on, yeah. That was fun, all right. Name Shadow Knight. Woohoo! Level 20. Nice weapon. Enchanted Fighting Steel Longsword. 7.5. Let's see what you look like on the bar. Nope. Put me at 16. Look at my AC go down. 214. 207. So yeah, you go in the wait to get merged to get your weight limit down. Pile. Okay, here we go. This should be the last pull. And I didn't look what I got. Ward of V. Really nice to have. Eagle Strike. I'm gonna have to read up on those. Eagle Strike looks like. Eagle Strike of 6. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. That's it. No like achievements. Not even like a gold star. Pat on the back. Attaboy. Congratulations. We expect this was normal from now on. A lot of raise. Okay, well that's it. Yeah, I finished Befallen. See if there's any last rooms. Well, thank you for watching. I've finally conquered Befallen. Full clear. I'm just going to double check, do a quick walk around, make sure I got them all. You know, like Pokemon, got to get them all. And that's it. I'm done. Yep. Well, thank you for watching. Um, Gonna grind out this dungeon, get my gear up, and then I'm off to the next one. I could backtrack to Blackborough, or I can head over to Unrust. Let's see what I'm gonna do. Talk to y'all later.